Hello, everybody. Today is February 12th, 2026, and this is Dad and his lifetime of stories. I've got a wide angle so I can show you the lamp that Dad made in shop class at high school. He talked about it in previous episodes, and I just thought it would be kind of neat if you were able to see what it was. And I'm going to go ahead and the last video we talked. I asked you again about TV, and then we talked about professional wrestling, and you talked about how good your sisters were playing basketball, and
Right.
um, talked about Joey playing basketball and football, and him trying to hit me with a baseball warming up and everything. But the first thing, and I didn't even ask you, I guess I should have said it beforehand. What's the correct way to say Aunt Mary Lou's name?
Mary is two separate words. Lou, Lou.
Am I saying it like one word when I'm saying it?
Mary Lou.
Is that what it sounds like?
It's, well, no, it sounds whatever.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure I didn't want to disrespect her. All right. Uh, Speaking of Joey and sports, um, I talked to you about after we shut the camera off last week. You said Uncle Frank, you did have contact with him on the football team because he traveled and he was the equipment manager.
Right.
What all did he do? Do you remember?
Nothing. Mostly nothing.
Ride on the bus to go.
But whatever the boys needed, they could ask him. He'd go get it, whatever it was,
Right.
Because they'd be dressing or undressing or whatever. But most of it was to take care of their needs.
Well, you also told me a while back, and I may be wrong, but you said Uncle Frank was really a good dancer. Do you recall telling me that?
I could have, because he was.
Really?
Yeah, he really was a good dancer.
Are you talking about like back in younger, or is he?
Well, he's always been able to dance on that. He just was dancing.
He'd go after the girl and he'd be ready to dance, huh?
Yeah, he knew how to get those women.
Because he knew how to dance.
Yeah.
Well, this white boy here can't dance.
Well, just like my wife. That's kind of how I met her, was at a dance party.
Was it a school dance or something else?
It was what you call, I don't remember now whether it was a YMCA or it was some kind of club that met every Friday or every Saturday night there at this building across the track where the beer joint was over there. There was a place that kids could gather, kind of like going down to the I still want to say YMCA, Young People's Christian Association, or something like that. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay, YMCA.
But they would have dances on the weekend or something?
Yeah, during a certain time of the year, they would have dances down there. And it was a place where the young people could congregate and just have a good time. And my wife, she was a real good dancer, which I was not. The only thing I knew was a two-step, and that was about it.
So did Mom teach you how to dance?
But she pretty much taught me how to dance. But Frank, he never did have to have. He just picked it up.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't know what all was going on with him in his life.
Yeah.
Well, when he wasn't at home, well, that's the only time I'd see him probably never seen one during school time.
Right, because he
Cause
was
he
younger.
different grades, you know, and
Uh-huh.
3 or 4 behind me. But it, that's it.
Did did you meet mom at school or did you meet mom at a dance?
Well, I met her. Well, I knew her when she was going to school, and I knew I wanted to get acquainted with her. And I may have told you this. I'm not sure. You just have to tell me. But she had some girlfriends that lived past Buck's Grocery, going into the new addition across the tracks, and about 4 or 5 blocks was Buck's Grocery, and in that area right there was what they call New Addition, and it was for the white people mostly inhabited that area right in there. But we knew of a party. I don't know who was with me or who now, but I just remember we knew they was having a party at this girl's house in New Addition over there past Buck's Grocery. And me and another old boy went over there scouting the place out, trying to see what we could find over there. So we did, and we finally found the party, and the girls were having some kind of, what they call it, a bunking party. Is that what they call it?
Sleepover?
No, not a sleepover. It was just a bunking party, is what they call it, I think.
Uh-huh.
But people know that are watching this. They know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But we found the party where the girls were, and we got to talking to them, and somebody run around and said something. Here come the police, because his daughter was involved in the party. The policeman, the chief of police there in Mark Tree. But his daughter was involved in the party, and man,
Everybody scattered.
Like a bunch of quail. Here they went. But and this other old boy headed down, crossed kind of behind the apartments, and there wasn't nothing but clothesline poles down through there. Man, one caught me, and it didn't hurt me, but it hurt my chin right in there someplace.
Were y'all running and you just ran right into it?
Yeah, but in the melee though, the girls started throwing rocks at us. And man, I got hit in the top of the head. We got out of there. We got out of there.
With minimal injuries.
Well, really, it's wonder one of them got killed. Because them girls got mad about us coming down there, and they knew this girl's dad was chief of police. He was involved in the raid, I think.
He was going to break up the party.
Yeah.
Going back and speaking about Uncle Frank, you told me that, I mean, Uncle Frank was like a pool shark, or he was.
Oh, yeah.
Did he go into the pool hall and play for money and stuff and take
yeah.
people's money?
Yeah, he used to have his own stick.
Oh, the kind you unscrew and put in a case?
He won this stick from this other old boy playing pool, because it was one that you screwed in and had a case and all that stuff. But he became pretty well known around Hell, Arkansas, where he was working down there at Milwaukee Rubber Company. But he was a good pool shooter. Yeah, he made him some money that way.
Money that way on the side.
Yeah.
Do you have to go to other towns because people were figuring out how good he was?
Well, more than likely he did, and I don't know what he did in some of his life. Because there was one time he got involved with the family, and the girl that he married, Norma Jean, was her name, and she had about 2 or 3 brothers, and they threatened to kill him down there one time. And he called Lonnie at Mark Tree, and he and he told him what was fixing to happen down there. And here, about 5 of us went down there with a policeman from Mark Tree that Lonnie had. So Lonnie had, let's see, Charlie Brown and Lonnie and myself. And why I went was the stupidest thing I ever did in my life. I didn't get no trouble, but I just should have known better than run down there with all that fracas going on and him being threatened that way. But that's what you do when your brother calls you for help, I guess.
You said Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown was, he wasn't the chief of police, but he was a policeman there at Mark Tree.
That's that.
He's my uncle.
So he's my great uncle Charlie. Who
Right.
Talking about?
Yeah, Charlie and Maydale.
So they loaded up the cops and they went, huh?
Well,
or y'all went?
Well, here 5 of us, I think, was in. I don't remember whether we went on down there in my car or not. I think we went in Lonnie's car on down there from my house, and they come by West Memphis, got me, and on the Helen we went.
Was there any trouble, or you just got him? And since Uncle Charlie was,
we just began to talk about things going on, and there was some snooting and a snorting, and wasn't no licks ever passed or anything like that, because I think they knew. I don't know whether Charlie still had on his uniform or not.
That was what I was questioning.
And that might have quelled the whole riot when they saw him. And he may have had on his full uniform,
Right.
And I don't remember because we were yagging and carrying on, and I don't remember where he was sitting in the back of the car we drove down there. I don't know where he was sitting. It seemed like it was in the back, he and Lonnie.
I'm going to stop it just for a brief second.
Yeah.
And make sure I didn't lose your mic.
Okay. And away we go.
Okay, we're doing it again.
All righty, here we go.
We didn't lose the sound, and I just couldn't see the light on the mic. That's funny about Uncle Frank. When you talked about working for Fruit Hall and the best job you had, Fruithoff
Trailer Company.
And that allowed you to have a job where you could make enough money to kind of support yourself and get started.
Yeah.
My memory of where you worked at, and I may be wrong with the name, and I'm sorry, people, that I jump around, but it just hits me, was Federal Compress. When did you start working for them, or Southern Compress?
Federal Compress Warehouse Company.
Okay. When did you start working for them? I mean, like around...
Probably about the late 50s, I'd say, something like that.
Okay.
It was in West Memphis, Arkansas.
Right.
Because they had a plant there right by the railroad tracks at riding down West Memphis. But it was a superintendent named Mr. Stitt that I worked for. He was old compress head, been around for 40 years, I guess. But he'd been around the system a little bit. He'd been to different places. But there was one guy in particular I'll tell about that I worked with. Was he run the press. He was the next in line under Mr. Stitt, really. There was an assistant superintendent there under him. His name was Manley. I believe it was Manley. But he couldn't, he was pretty tall and he couldn't hardly walk. He had something wrong with his legs. But he and the guy that run the press, I'm still trying to think of his name and I can't think of it.
When Mr. Gregson, was it?
No, it wasn't Mr. Gregson. He was way young above everybody else in that old plant.
Back in that time period.
Yeah.
But he worked his way up, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he came Belzona, Mississippi. Is where he left Belzona and went into the management of a whole territory.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a good fella and knew how to handle men. And he just worked his way right on up. And because he helped me get a job later on in life, that they wanted me to go to Helena, Arkansas to work, and I told the regional manager that wanted me to go down there. I said, I'm not moving my family down there. And I don't remember now where, I think we lived in West Memphis at the time. But there's some place I just didn't want to take my family.
Well, I'll ask you this one last question, because what did they do and what was the purpose of Southern Compress?
Southern Compress was a competitor. They did the same thing Federal did, only it was there in
Memphis or West Memphis area? I thought they were spread out all over the place.
They were in North Little Rock. That's where they
okay.
were, in North Little Rock. Man, I have trouble thinking about what I want to say. And
Well, was it like leasing warehouses? They had.
Well, they didn't have but one plant.
Right.
That was in that area, and they were just a competitor to us. And that's the reason I lost my seniority one time. Whenever I did leave Federal Compress, and I went over there and got a job immediately from Southern Compress because I knew the superintendent over there. He put me to work, and he thought I could just run a plant like some of these other plant managers that he'd had before.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't at that stage yet to run a plant.
No experience.
I went back and got my seniority and what little bit I had left with Federal. But it ended up I lost my profit sharing.
Yeah.
Because I went with a competitor.
It was a ton of money, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know what it was. It was
$100.
It was $100. Been good then.
We're gonna stop there until next week, and if you would, at the bottom of the video, you'll see a thumbs up. How about everybody clicking on the like for this video, so we can see how many people are looking at it. Until next week, everybody, goodbye.
Goodbye. See y'all.